going on, Canopy traders and investors? It's Rod with Power Group. It's Friday. Happy Friday. It's July 8th. And in this video, I got an exciting one for you today. We had a huge announcement yesterday at the draft, 2022 NHL draft. BioSteel was named the official partner of the NHL and the NHL Players Association. Pretty exciting news. We know that Canopy Growth took a majority stake in BioSteel. Before we get to it though, make sure to smash the like, helps support me in the channel, doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe and tick the bell. You can be notified on any future updates. Taking a look at the press release that came out here from Canopy Growth. So BioSteel named official hydration partner of the National Hockey League and National Hockey League Players Association. I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but essentially it goes on to talk about how the company was created, the idea of being the official drink of all things sports, so essentially the official sport hydration drink. It goes on to say that it was basically co-founded by Michael Camilleri, which is a retired NHL player. He was extremely popular, and his business partner John Salenza. Never heard of that person, but I actually didn't know that it was Michael Camilleri that co-founded it, but actually he was a very, very popular hockey player in the NHL and somebody that I watched growing up, so that was pretty cool. The drink is fantastic, hearing nothing but great things, and if we take, I'll just put the link in the description in this, you can read it, or just do a quick Google search, it'll come up. Essentially, Canopy Growth purchased majority stake in BioSteel Sports Nutrition Inc., and this was back in October 2nd, 2019 during the brutal bear market, so a lot of the fundamental stuff doesn't matter, as we know, in a bear market. The transaction provides Canopy Growth with a significant platform to enter the sports nutrition and hydration segment and lays the groundwork for the adoption of CBD and future product offerings in accordance with regulations globally, including products to be sold in the U.S. containing CBD sourced from federally permissible industrial hemp, right, which we know was introduced through the Farm Bill. Montreal Canadiens went for upside in the second round, but they got the number one pick. And also, you can see here that BioSteel is right in the front page, right here, being advertised. So super cool. We know that the MLB, I can't remember which team it was. Maybe it was Seattle or Toronto. I can't remember if it was in Toronto's dugout or in the opponents, but essentially they were drinking BioSteel in the dugout, and there was like a huge jug or whatever. I thought normally it's Gatorade, but I don't know if it's an official partnership with the MLB or anything like that. But I did notice that a ton of the athletes are drinking BioSteel as well. I did go after the news. I was like, okay, I gotta go try these, and if anybody's tried these, let me know. But I hadn't tried them to date, and I went, as soon as I saw that news yesterday, I was watching the draft and everybody was drinking BioSteel. I also saw a video with Connor McDavid, and he said like 10 things he can't live without or something like that. He mentioned like Apple AirPods and a few other things, like a hockey stick, specific hockey stick, and then he said this BioSteel, and he said the berry flavor was his favorite. He said he can't live without it. So I had to go try it out after yesterday. I got the berry flavor, I got the blue raspberry and the rainbow twist. By far, my favorite was the blue raspberry. Second was the berry flavor, and then the rainbow twist. But if you've tried these, let me know in the comments below. But the amount of potential just with this alone is quite staggering, right? It's there's a lot of potential that could come from this. And I did a video on Canopy Growth and an article from I think it was from Seeking Alpha, but it was a specific it wasn't the publisher itself, it was the writer and the analyst, right? Because they have individual analysts and writers. But essentially it was saying, are they on the verge of bankruptcy? And I said, is that FUD or fact? I think it's FUD. Way too many, it's too big to fail in my opinion. But if you want to see that video, I highly encourage you to check that out. But essentially, I don't think Canopy Growth is going anywhere. They have too many good brands, too many good assets. Be a long time before they go bankrupt, that's for darn sure. If we take a look here as well, I just did a live stream, public ticker request and market update. That was extremely important. I tried to keep it a little shorter. It was only 43 minutes, but you got to at least watch the news at the first part of that because I went over a lot of really important things, and like I said, just super important. I highly encourage you to go check that out. If you take a look at the Canopy Growth chart here on the weekly time frame, so I did a video as well not too long ago. Actually, I mentioned it in this video here, the bankruptcy video, that we had a weekly bear flag that was on watch. It confirmed here on the week of June 27th. So we had the high, the low, the lower high. Anything under the 0.32 Fibonacci was a potential weekly bear flag. So the level to get above was $4.38. Anything below that was a weekly bear flag. What happened? We started the weekly bounce. We didn't get above it. And then once we lost support there at 324, that's when we confirmed it. That's USD. This is CGC on the NASDAQ. So we had a lower high. We didn't get above 438. Then we came down, lost support at 324. Once we lost 324, we confirmed the weekly bear flag. Weekly bear flag is targeting $2.33. I added about 2 positions of Canopy over the last couple of weeks, and I didn't own any before that. I sold it a little over a year ago. And I just figured that with them losing market share and so many other LPs going through all these acquisitions like Tilray and Aphria and then Hexo and Redecan and Zenabis, it was just going to continue to lose market share. And I ended up being right, but didn't really matter because the whole sector's down 90 to 98% across the board. So it doesn't really matter which MJ stock you really picked. Even the ones with good fundamentals, right, that are positive, that actually have, High Tide and Trulieve, they're down 80, 90%. Even some of our other names with great fundamentals and financials. As I said before, I did a video on it, fundamentals don't matter in a bear market. So we are targeting $2.33. We did close near the low and below last week's candle, so we could see a little bit more downside. We have a ton of bear flags across the sector as well. You can go here on my channel and check it out, but we had a bear flag on High Tide, Trulieve, Tilray. Oxley had a bear flag as well. Oxley already hit its weekly bear flag target and actually went below its weekly bear flag target. It had a bear flag of 8 cents and hit 7 cents. So by that logic, could CGC potentially see 233 as well? I think so. I held off today before I added any more, as I do think that it was a pretty weak close, and I think that SPY, S&P 500, again, watch my live stream if you want to learn more about that. But essentially, I think that SPY is weak right now. We can't even confirm a daily uptrend on the daily time frame on the S&P 500, which is showing a lot of weakness in my opinion, and we could see another leg down. So I would anticipate another leg down and a little bit more downside. But if we take a look at the percentage-wise from current levels, you're only looking at about another 10%, 11% of downside for CGC, but I'll be adding probably closer to that 250 area. And then if we get to that 233, I'll look to add again, but essentially I'll look to add 1 or 2 more times. We did close below the 10-week moving average. We had a bull cross there of the stochastic here on the weekly, so a little glimmer of hope, but we're still bearish on the MACD and well below the 10-week moving average there at 428. We also have the 50-day moving average there at 451, so a lack of resistance really until about $4, and a lot of MJ right now is very, very poised for a short squeeze. If we see any kind of safe banking leading into the fall and the midterm elections, we know that Chuck Schumer and people in Congress are looking to get something done soon. Could come as early as next month. And like I said, a lot of motivation for the Democrats to do something with regards to maybe even safe banking, right? Leading into the midterms, we know that the Republicans, not to get political, I don't care, I'm from Canada, I don't care who wins, but the Republicans are said to have the upper hand right now. So if that's the case, the Democrats may want to push something along like safe banking and then maybe even say that they're going to really do something this time into 2023 and actually legalize. But you never know. The Republicans might be able to gain the upper hand, and then they end up winning, and then they fix the inflation and all that stuff. They legalize, and they make it happen. That could happen as well, and then that's what they use to. So there's so many scenarios. There's a few different scenarios that could play out. But as long as you're prepared for all scenarios, and I'm prepared for all scenarios at this point. In terms of the weekly moving averages, we're well below all of those as well. The 50 weekly, the closest one nearby at 963. So like I said, very ripe for a short squeeze here if we see any kind of safe banking news into the fall. And like I said, 200, 300%, not out of the realm of possibility, in my opinion. Going to end it there, though. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. Let me know in the comments below if you're excited about this partnership, your thoughts and opinions. Do you think we're going to hit that weekly bear flag of $2.33? Always love hearing from you. Let's continue the conversation in the comments below. Happy Friday. Hope you have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you on the next update. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll talk to you again on the next video.